What's up, guys? Eric Gray, Focus Fishing Guide Service, Table Rock Fishing Intel. Got another video fishing report for you for Table Rock. It is Tuesday, February 9th. Current lake level, we're at 915.1, basically back to normal pool. Core's been running quite a bit of water. They've been running 2 or 3 generators 24/7 out of Table Rock. They've been running a couple of generators out of Beaver, about 12 to 14 hours a day. And when I looked this morning, it looked like they had 8 generators running out of Bull Shoals. So they're definitely lower in the water, definitely moving some current, probably just generating electricity for everybody to heat their homes right now. Water temperature, last time I was on the water was Sunday and I was seeing 44, 45. Talked to a buddy who fished yesterday before the ice storm hit, and he was seeing 43, 44. Definitely going to see a drop in water temperature. Hopefully it'll be enough that we can get a bit of a shad kill out of this, maybe thin some of the shad out, so you know we're not fighting fishing against all these live shad. We really haven't had a good shad kill in quite a while, so hopefully that happens, makes the fishing better in the long run. It'll make it a little tough right after or during the shad kill, but man, in the spring, if we get a decent shad kill, bite should be a lot better. Even through the summer, the bite should be a lot better. So hopefully we do get the water temperatures down in the upper 30s to maybe kill off some of the shad population we've got in the lake. With it being this cold, it looks like we've got 10, maybe 11 days of not getting above freezing. Pretty good chance we're not going to have a whole lot of daily reports for you guys on Table Rock Fishing Intel. We do have a lot of other videos and a lot of other things that we're going to be putting online, just to keep you guys, keep the current flow, or keep the content flowing, so you guys have got something to watch, something to read on a daily basis. If you guys are going out and you're going to fish and you're a member of Intel and you want to post a member fishing report, we'd appreciate that. But just because of safety, just because of how cold it is, I don't expect many of my guides or myself or anybody really to be out fishing that much this week. It'll probably pick up a little bit more next week with the BFL, but best way to keep on top of the fish and best way to see all the new content we've got coming at you is to become a pro member of Table Rock Fishing Intel. $45 a year gets you a membership. Guaranteed you're going to catch more fish just by watching the videos, by reading the reports. Gives you a leg up on anybody else who's going to the lake. But if you're coming down, say you're going to fish the lower end of the lake, you know, a couple of bites that are pretty strong right now down there. Definitely a good strong deep bite going on with either a scuba spoon, the jigging wrap, or a Kitech swim bait on a heavier jig head like a 1/2 or 3/8 ounce jig head. Most of those fish, you know, pretty much everything's on the main lake or maybe the first third of the creeks. Nothing's really towards the backs of the creeks. Most of the fish, the aggressive fish, seem to be in that 25 to 35 foot range, though you can catch a few a little bit deeper than that. Now that's where the fish are. The overall depth can be as much as 90 or 100 foot deep. So that being said, you know, most of the aggressive fish we've been catching have been in that 25 to 35 foot range, which is pretty easy to get to. Some of them are relating to timber. A lot of them are just relating to the shad. You know, most of them will follow those bigger schools of shad around. You can catch them around those bigger schools of shad. A-rig bites been pretty strong by the dam as well. Most of those fish are coming off of bluff ends or the ends of channel swings that have a little bit of isolated cover, whether it be standing timber or rock piles. Now those fish have been a little bit deeper than we normally fish for them as well. They've been in that 20 to 30 foot range too, not really up there shallow, so you gotta let your A-rig sink down a little bit to catch those fish. And then the jerkbait bite has been, well, the times I was on the water last week, I really didn't have the weather for a jerkbait. At least not when I was down by the dam, and you've really got to have a little bit of wind, a little bit of cloud cover to really turn that jerkbait bite on, but we have been catching them on basically the ends of channel swings where you've got a little bit of isolated cover, so look for that as well. Going to Kimberling City area, same bites are going on. You've got the same bites, you've got a solid deep bite going on. And the deep bite is more of a numbers bite. You know, if you want to go out and catch numbers of fish, I'm going to definitely recommend that you go out and fish deep. You either fish vertically or letting your bait sink on a long horizontal cast. And again, the aggressive fish seem to be in that 25 to 35 foot range. Bluff ends, the mouths of creeks, maybe about a third of the way back into the creeks and the treetops has been the best. You know, the overall depth we're not paying much attention to. Really, we're paying attention where the shad are. If the shad are present, we're getting bit. We're catching the fish doing that. Again, A-rig bites, the same bite we've got going on down by the dam. Mostly bluff ends, bluff pockets, ends of channel swing type banks, those sort of things. And that bite's a lot better if you've got a little bit of shad present as well, or a little bit of wind will help kick that bite off too. Had a pretty good day with an A-rig. I think it was Friday, caught a couple right off the bat on it, a couple of decent fish. So that's been a pretty strong bite. And again, most of those fish are in that 20 to 30 foot range over whatever the depth is. And then the jerkbait bite, you know, again, I caught a few on a jerkbait when I was in the Kimberling City to a little bit up the James last week. It wasn't great, wasn't a great bite, but didn't have perfect weather, had a little bit of wind kick up and some thin clouds, and did find a few fish on Megabass Vision 110 plus 2. Had to get the bait down a little bit deeper. Seemed like those fish were in that 10 to maybe 15 foot range. Over top of 25 to 30, mostly on bluff ends, mostly on steeper stuff. You know, little cuts and little points, little rock slides on bluffs were really key with the jerkbait. And then we did catch a few on a jig in the Kimberling City area as well on some of the deeper brush piles I've got marked down there. Nothing to get real excited about, just wanted to, you know, see if I can get bit on a jig, and caught them on a Jewel Pro Spider jig in the Kimberling City area as well. Mostly, I'm going to say 20 to 30 foot deep on a jig. They weren't up shallow. They weren't up under the docks. They just, you know, they were relating to the brush, and we caught a few doing that as well. And go up into the James. A-rig is my #1 bait up the James. Did not go way up the James. I think I made it about to Cedar Cove when I went up the James last week. Most of the fish we caught were main lake or just inside the mouths of the creeks. Pretty much everything on steep stuff, pretty much on channel swing or bluff end type stuff, bluff pockets, rock slides on bluff. Those have all been key areas. If you've got 1 or 2 pieces of standing timber, especially if it's a little bit deeper, if it's 30 to 50 foot deep, and you've got standing timber that comes up to about 25 or even 18, 20 feet deep, you seem to be able to catch them on an A-rig around that stuff. But you want isolated timber. You don't want a whole forest of trees. Jerkbait bite, again, when I was up the James, we caught a few on a jerkbait. The conditions weren't ideal, but I think if you get a windy, cloudy day, you can probably catch a few on a jerkbait as well. And then we caught them on a jig up there too, on the Jewel Pro Spider jig. Again, keen on brush piles, deeper brush though. I think the shallowest we caught anything around was about 15 foot deep, and that wasn't even a keeper. It's just a little short fish, but for the most part, you know, you got to be 20, 25, even 30 foot deep on the brush piles right now to get bit. I'm sure there's some fish up shallower. I have not been able to find aggressive fish up much shallower than 15, 20 foot deep. Go up into the White River, deep bite for sure. Jewel Scuba Spoon, Rapala Jigging Rap, and Kitech Swim Bait on a heavy head, same sort of deal. The aggressive fish tend to be a little bit shallower, 25 to 35. Again, overall depth does not matter. Most of the fish are either on the main lake in the first quarter or third of the creek arms. If you've got a bigger creek, like if you go to Baxter, you'll find them a little bit further back in there. A big creek, you find them a little bit further back in there. But for the most part, wherever you can find the shad, you can catch a few fish fishing deep. A-rig, same deal. Bluff ends, bluff cuts, rock slides on bluffs are really key right now with the A-rig. And a little bit of standing timber. They don't want a lot, just a little bit of standing timber. The fish are deeper than we normally catch them on an A-rig. Don't know if this weather is going to change that or not, but they're definitely in that 18 to 25, even 30 foot range on the A-rig. And then, you know, the jerkbait bite again, with the weather and everything else, it seems like when I get out there, we went way up the White, I guess it was last Wednesday, and had a miserable day. We saw fish, we just couldn't find the bait, so we struggled, and we threw jerkbait quite a bit and never had a sniff on it. I think, you know, we didn't have a breath of wind, bluebird skies, typical, you know, what the heck are we doing out here day? But I really think that, you know, if you get the right day, you can certainly catch them on a stick bait, jerkbait. Yeah, you probably need to get something that's diving a little bit deeper. Of course, all bets are off if we start to see a shad kill, because these fish will come up and start feeding on those dying shad. So have a jerkbait ready if you're going to go up that way. Guys, we are not quite halfway through February, and we've got the coldest weather we've had all year, which is fantastic. But I think it's going to be good. I really do. We really If this weather holds the way they've got it forecast, I really think we're going to get that shad kill that we need. We've got too much bait in the lake, and it's made it a lot tougher to catch fish than it used to be. So hopefully we get a bit of a shad kill. Hopefully it'll turn the fishing around. Best way to stay on top of that, best way to know what's going on, of course, is to join Table Rock Fishing Intel. Become a pro member, and that way you can get all the reports, all of the information that we have available for you at your fingertips 24/7 on TableRockFishingIntel.com. Check that out. Try the one-day membership. If it looks like something you want to do, cool. Sign up for $45 a year. Get all that information year-round, and know before you go is the best way to put it. You know what the fish are doing before you even get down there, so it kind of shortens your learning curve. But if you're coming down and you want to hire a guide, give me a call. It's Focus Fishing Guide Service. You can reach me at 417-860-4743. And you can either book online or shoot me an email at focusfishing.com. Either way, I get back to you as soon as I can. Guys, thanks for watching the videos. Again, take a minute to check out Table Rock Fishing Intel if you haven't done so. Thanks for watching. Can't wait to hear from you. We'll see you on the water.